next week. So that'll be the focus this week. Put Gardner Webb behind us and move on to the next game.
Coach, can you talk about the job that Russell obviously did, career high 345 yards, and whether breaking that record is something good for the program?
Well, it certainly is. It's great for Russell, and it speaks to his decision making. And we got lucky a couple times through the streak, but you have to get lucky a couple times. But I think he did a good job. I think offensively came with a lot of pressure and a lot of seams down the field, and gave him opportunities to make throws.
Coach, last week you were, I believe, 8 for 8 in the red zone. This week looks like 6 for 6. Can you talk about your red zone offense?
Well, certainly it's great importance when you get down there to be able to put the ball in the end zone. We have a really good field goal kicker. Josh has done a great job. When we have to go to that, but we've been fortunate enough that we've scored a lot of touchdowns. So we have to continue to work hard to make sure that we continue to make those plays.
Can you talk about getting Bowens and DeAndre Morgan back, and kind of what you saw out of them, limited for Bowens?
Well, we didn't expect to play Bowens that much. We wanted to get him on the field just so that he could get back into a football game and hopefully touch the ball a couple times. Called some passes to be thrown specifically to him just so he could catch it, get tackled, and get the feel of playing college football again. DeAndre came back. He had a good week of practice. When Rashard had to come out of the game, it was fortunate that he was able to get in, and we got him probably a little more than we wanted to, but it worked out well.
Last couple of years, we said, injuries have been a problem for you, and they're starting to pile up again this year. It looks like Vermiglio and Eugene and Spencer and Johnson and now Smith too. I mean,
it is what it is. Whoever shows up Sunday will start coaching. That's how we approach injuries.
How much did the flu affect the team in general? I saw two guys missed.
Well, we had a lot of guys that missed practice. Actually, the last 2 weeks, I guess 10 days. So, I thought we were tired actually to start off with, and I think that's, a lot of guys weren't, they had missed 3 days or whatever it is to take it to get healthy. So, hopefully we're over this stretch of it, and we won't have, we haven't had a flu reported case since Friday. So, I'm keeping our fingers crossed.
What kind of lift did Darrell Davis and TJ Graham give?
Well, TJ's part of the rotation. I think Davis, got into the game more than he has in the past. So I think, certainly he's been ready to get in there and make some plays, and he did a good job. But TJ's part of the rotation. He ended up starting tonight because Spencer.
Russell's favorite target tonight was George Bryan. He had a lot of passes to him. That's a pretty effective weapon, those two together.
Well, as I said, that when as much as they brought the linebackers and blitz, there's a lot of holes in the middle of the field where the tight end operates. So it just stood to reason that George was going to get some opportunity to catch balls.
How do you feel about where your defense is right now moving forward?
It's hard to tell. I think that we have a chance to be good. I don't think we are good quite yet. We got a lot of work to do. But if we keep, I don't know, and I don't want to take anything away from Murray State or these guys tonight, because this is a pretty good football team. I think they got a great scheme and they did a great job executing and stuff. But we seem to tackle better. And as I said, I don't want to take anything away from them, but hopefully it's just us getting better.